Oh man. So it was record show time again, and as you can see, I scored some stuff. Take a look.
On the struggle.
How was that? Yeah, so as you saw, Matt and I met at the Inland Empire Record Collective here in Riverside. They have it here in Riverside about twice a year. Yeah, and this was Matt's first ever record show. So, cheers to that. Woo! Yes. Wow. Okay, so as usual, you know, tons of great stuff. At first, I was a little concerned because not all the vendors had set up. Matt and I got there actually a little before opening, and not all the vendors were set up until probably an hour and a half into it. So, yeah. But it definitely picked up over the first couple hours, and as you saw, I found some stuff. So let's go through it. All right. Now this is a band I see in the vinyl community from time to time. Stars. And this is like pretty much the one that everyone chose. So basically a hard rock, heavy metal. Not other than that, not really familiar with them, but it was cheap, so I figured I would pick it up. And the same vendor had this one as well, Violation. And I don't think I had this one. Looking back on it, it could be a duplicate. But I'm a big Sammy Hagar fan. So this is HSAS, Hagar, Schoen, Aronson, and Shreve. The more I look at it, the more familiar it looks. It might be a duplicate. But yeah, I'm a big Sammy Hagar fan. Alright, this is a first in my collection. I haven't bought any comedy records in quite some time. Richard Pryor. Who, me? I'm not him. Yes. So, love Richard Pryor. And that's, like I said, that's the first in my collection. Okay. I just looked this up and I already forgot what it is. I want to say this is art rock. Manzanera. It's actually Phil Manzanera. Yeah, it's actually Phil Manzanera, and the album is K-Scope. I was hoping for something psychedelic because it looks psychedelic, but it's basically art rock, which, you know, that can be good too. All right, I couldn't believe I found a Willie Nelson record I didn't have yet. Not in the best shape as far as the cover goes, but this Willie Nelson, Shotgun Willie. How did I not have this one already? Oh man. Little by little, I am collecting Three Dog Night. So this is It Ain't Easy. You know, they're roughly similar to the Guess Who. This is one I didn't have. Daryl Hall and John Oates. Oh yeah. I have to go through these quickly because, as you saw, there's a big stack. I was huge into this song. I still am. Yes. Cameo, Word Up. 12-inch single. So it has the 12-inch version, the 7-inch version, the instrumental, and Urban Warrior. I'm pretty darn picky when it comes to 12-inch singles. Basically album rock or dance rock, the Power Station, of course, with Robert Palmer and members of Duran Duran. Yeah. Very cool. I am collecting Jefferson Airplane / Jefferson Starship. I definitely have a preference for Airplane, obviously, but this is Jefferson Starship Freedom at Point Zero. So, you know, one of the earlier Jefferson Starship albums, certainly. Yeah, 1979. So, they hadn't really gotten into their truly commercial stage until, you know, maybe the mid-'80s. This is another one. It's possible it's a duplicate. The Who Are You? I don't think I have it, and if I do have it, this might be an upgrade, so, yeah, so, nevertheless, please do pick it up. Alright, I mentioned the Guess Who now. This is very cool. The Guess Who, The Way They Were. Bachman, Cummings, Cale, Peterson. Unreleased recordings by the original group. So that is very cool. It's essentially an EP. Yeah, yeah, it's essentially an EP. But that's fine because, you know, I'm collecting all their stuff, so I love them. Another band, you know, there's periods of this band that, I don't know, are a little bit questionable, but a lot of their stuff is just so good. The Temptations, Getting Ready. It was cheap, so I picked it up. Another one. It's possible I have it already, but I don't think I do, because the cover didn't look all that familiar. So, this is Heart, Private Audition. This was, first of all, it's sealed. It was super, super cheap. Blind Buy, Tyzik, Prophecy. I think his name is actually Phil Tyzik, or Tyzik. Basically jazz. Yeah. Alright, speaking of jazz, you know, there's a time and a place for all kinds of jazz. So that being said, you know, this is on the lighter side of jazz. So Grover Washington Jr., and this is The Best Is Yet to Come. And also by him, Side Star. And both of these, they clearly came from someone that really cared for the records. They put them in these VRP, valuable record protector sleeves. And whenever I find records in those sleeves, it kind of tells me that the person took care of their records. And sure enough, these were both in great condition, so I figured I would pick it up. I do have a couple of his albums, and continuing with the sort of contemporary jazz or even smooth jazz, we have David Sanborn, As We Speak. I went through a phase where I was really into David Sanborn back in the late 80s. So I'm giving his music another shot, and you know, it's good stuff. It's just good music. Another band I am definitely trying to collect, but I tend to see the same ones over and over and over, but I did not have this one. Herman's Hermits. This is self-titled, and it includes Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter. Classic song, classic. Yeah. And speaking of Jefferson Starship again, this is actually it's interesting. This is Jefferson Starship, but they gave separate billing to Paul Kantner. Because I could be wrong on this. Not too long after they became Jefferson Starship, he left the band because he was mostly around when they were Jefferson Airplane, and then he went on to do some solo stuff. But it's interesting that that he has top billing. It says Paul Kantner and then Jefferson Starship. But this is Blows Against the Empire. And I do love his solo music as well, so... oh, what was this? Folk rock, AM pop, the Youngbloods, Elephant Mountain? Is that right? Yes, Elephant Mountain, the Youngbloods. We saw a bunch of the records there, actually, but this is the one I opted for. I think it's the first in my collection, so... Now, I recently, well, not too recently, I guess, but some time ago, I bought my first Kingston Trio record, and I listened to it, and I was just blown away. I mean, you see them in the thrift stores all the time. So, you know, I had always hesitated in picking them up, but then when I listened to that album, it just blew me away, and so I'm not going to hesitate getting their stuff anymore. And unfortunately, lately, I haven't been seeing them in the thrift stores. But this is the Kingston Trio, Where Have All the Flowers Gone? Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Very cool. All right, back to the Guess Who. And this, I'm pretty sure, is my first ever quadradisc. So this is Road Food. Yeah, Road Food. So, very, very interesting. Of course, you know, obviously my turntable doesn't support quadradisc, but had to have it. And obviously you can still listen to these on regular turntables. Country Joe and the Fish together. Very cool. I only have a couple of their albums, and their albums almost always tend to be just really in horrendous shape. And this one's no exception, except, you know, the vinyl, obviously. But this is Steppenwolf, Rest in Peace. Yeah. See, look at that ring wear, and it's a little rough. But yeah, I would definitely love to pick up more of their music. Getting back to sort of AM pop, we have Spanky and Our Gang, featuring the song Sunday Will Never Be the Same. Yeah, this is just self-titled. That is really, oh yeah, that's much better. Yeah, they were a band I discovered when I was a teenager, and I subscribed to the 1960s music collection, I guess, of Time Life Music. I discovered so much of the music that I adore now. I discovered on those CDs. So this is one of those bands. So there you go. All right, so this one was totally a Matt Hayes recommendation. Because I flipped past it, even though I'm familiar with Tommy James, but I still flicked past it for whatever reason, and I think Matt said something. I don't remember how he worded it, but he basically told me to go back a few in the stack, and he said that this is a really good album. So he told me I didn't have to buy it, and I think he even offered to buy it for me, but I said, oh no, I'll get it. I love music recommendations, and I really trust Matt's taste in music. Sort of glam rock, hard rock, post-punk, Mott the Hoople, and I am thrilled to get this one because it has All the Young Dudes. Easily their biggest hit. Easily. So I am thrilled to get this one. Alright, now this one, it could be a duplicate. I don't think it is, but there's a possibility it could be a duplicate. But I do love the band The Call. Basically album rock, I guess. But this is Modern Romans. Yeah. Just a couple more, actually. Now, I'm pretty sure I don't have this one. I'm pretty sure. But I just don't know. So again, this could be a duplicate, and this is the problem going to record shows. You know, you're fiercely looking through bins, and you're trying to remember: do I have this one? Do I not? And sometimes you just have to get it and take a gamble, you know. But one of my favorite bands, Procol Harum, Shine On Brightly. Actually, it's a gatefold. Let's take it out of that plastic. Yeah, so I don't think it's a duplicate, but I could be wrong. And the last one, and definitely the one that I'm most excited about, because he's definitely one of my absolute favorite singers. And yeah, I don't have nearly enough of his albums in my collection. So yeah, I was thrilled to add this one. Donovan, Mellow Yellow. Yeah. So cool. So cool. This has Mellow Yellow, Rider in the Sun, Sand and Foam, The Observation, Bleak City Woman, House of Jansh, Young Girl Blues, Museum, Hampstead Incident, Sunny South Kensington. Yes. So cool. All right, well, there you go. That deserves a drink, right? Afterwards, Matt and I went to we met up with his family, and we went to the Spaghetti Factory for lunch, and then we parted ways, and he was headed home, and as I was headed to the car, I heard the music playing that you heard and saw at the beginning of this video, and so I figured, I love live music, but I don't get to see it nearly as much as I would like. So I decided to go back, and I watched the rest of the set. It was like I saw them perform like 4 or 5 songs. Unfortunately, the one that I recorded for this video, it was not the best one that they performed. So don't judge the band on that particular song. They are on Bandcamp. Their name is Almas Fronterizas? Fronterizas? Something like that. Oh, yes. Anyway, yeah, I'll, connect to their stuff down there. Yeah, they put on a good show. So, basically, Latin blues rock. Yeah. Very, very good stuff. Yeah. All right, well, there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.